Welcome back to Shadows Over Loathing. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'm going to bed. That's the next most immediate thing to be taken care of, and that'll set us up for the next chapter, even though, you know, we're not going to dig into that instantly. You got to tie up some other loose ends first, but at least we'll be on our way. I'll check in with Charles now that... Ooh, I poked the microphone. Now that I'm awake, he's got nothing. I will immediately run over to the speakeasy. Pardon me, everyone having a good time over here. Do you know what? I will select the beer. Oh, the beer is simple. He just automatically. So vodka, the bass oil is the main thing. I just wanted to see what the mixer was. So I will cancel it. I'm going to leave it with my beer buzz. That's like the one that I most want right now, I think. Then I will head to Dirch's because I still think... sure, I'll buy a paperclip off you. Why not? I still think that has been the best cat boon I've found, even though I think there's a couple cats that I have not booned properly. I think there are some. I need to go to Crystal Dream second. I more or less remember how to do, like, at least a handful of these. Oh, I think... Can I do the Crystal Dream Junkyard one more than once? That one maybe only worked once. Check the drawer, battery, and a match. Sure, great, thank you. I will check my notes. Personal notes, review them. Hot bath, that one I still can do, and the hobo camp I didn't do. I still gotta go back to that one. Okay, then I will deal with my junkyard thing first. That I kind of remember how to get to. Maybe not. There was like a hole in the ground there, but I don't think that was correct. I have a memory of like needing to go towards the screen to find it, but that's not... This is so not a complicated like maze of any sorts. There it is. Oh... See, yeah, now I can fish in it, although I'm still not even using the uncursed fishing rod. I still would just be using the hot rod because I didn't actually have the fishing line to add to it to make it a proper thing again. Tub of lukewarm water, ignore it. Yeah, okay, I was worried that one didn't hold up. So, the hot bath. Yeah, I think I just have to erase that one because I don't think I can come back for it. Hot bath, yep, that one's out. But I can go back to the hobo camp. Give a quick tutoring because I'm such a caring, giving person, always looking out for others around me. Warm hands. I genuinely do think I've lost track of one that I need to be revisiting each time, but it's fine. I'm going to go to the Gatorman Hamlet because that's been left unchecked. Well, there's something you don't see every day, a big haunch of raw meat hanging from a tree branch in the middle of a swamp. Or at least, I don't see that every day. Maybe you spend more time in swamps than I do. Anyway, not wanting to let a perfectly good haunch go to waste, you approach it, and with a cartoonish shroing, you and Alphonse find yourselves trapped in a big net. Ah yes, when we let the captors come to us last time, I'll just tear my way out. Fortunately, the net is rather shoddily constructed. It's just made of vines, and heck if you're gonna let some stupid vines get the better of you. After a short struggle, you manage to tear the net open, and you and Alphonse drop free and escape with the goods, which that's another way to get haunches apparently. Which I could potentially use here. That guy's going to town on a haunch right now. To leave or not to leave? That is the question. Oh, see you guys later, I guess? Alright, you can just wait that one out. Please? Someone need help back there? Anything else you want to say for yourself? We're just going to leave it at that one little whimpering cry. Please let me out. The handle of the fridge is busted. This is going to be a headache come lunchtime. Try to open it. No dice, and no door opening either. Whoever smashed the handle wanted to keep you out or keep something in. A magical talking sandwich, maybe? Force the door with a crowbar and muscle. With great effort, you force it open. Released from the refrigerator cage, a cold man squirms out into the muck, gasping for air. My God, you are my savior! One more day trapped in there and I would have succumbed completely to despair. And not to, like, asphyxiation, maybe? Or starvation? Who are you? How'd you get here? Ask about Tom and Kathy. Who are you first? I'm Fabian, an illustrator of the natural sciences. Arid steppes, glittering bergs of ice. But lately, my interests have taken me to these damp lands. I am in my soggy period. How did you get there? I was traveling to the swamp to sketch the native cypress, only to be caught in a net by these Gator-esque men. At first, they allowed me to roam within the confines of this camp, but when I shouted for help at a passing truck, I was put into the refrigerator. Was that my truck? Hauling the stuff around? Do you know a creature called Occam's Gator? What truck first? Oh, it hurtled through the camp like a bass out of hell. It was a boy and a girl at the wheel. Oh yeah, that does tie in. And I called out, "Stop! I am a prisoner. Take me with you." But they drove on. What makes a person do that? Do you know where the truck was headed? North of here, I'm sure of it. North, huh? Then, since the driver at Largemouth Bass & Sons was confident the truck could only make it 11 miles at most, if you subtract 11, the distance between this camp and the fishery, seized with deductive euphoria, you do some quick calculations, which in your haste come out very wrong. You do them again, not rushing this time, and produce a promising lead. An amphibious truck? Do you know a creature called Occam's Gator? Occam's Gator? Supposedly a large gator with 2 tails who breathes smoke from its nostrils? Ah, yes, I think you were describing my mother-in-law. Haha. Okay, so you don't know. No, and I apologize, I shouldn't have said that. Melanie has always been kind to me. Okay. Every weekend, she bakes me a ball of nougat. I apologize, Melanie. What a weird thing to bake someone. If you want to leave, the way out is more or less clear. I do want to leave. That is a good guess. If we ever meet again, it would honor me to paint your portrait. I am an artist, as you know. I cannot paint you right away as I am in my soggy period, but if I conclude that work, or if you become soggy, well, who knows? Am I not soggy enough? Not for my academia, no. Oh well, perhaps next time. I hope we meet again. The refrigerator is still running. Where are they getting this electricity? I thought it would be like, you better go catch it. The safe hanging in an unsafe manner from the ceiling. It's got a combination lock and you don't know the combination. A sleeping Gator man, unless he's lying about being asleep. Do not let him lie. Like he would a dog. Okay, if you say so, what would you like to do as an alternative to letting this Gator man continue sleeping? I will search him. You reach into the water and carefully grope the Gatorman's pockets, or at least you hope those are pockets, and you find a scrap of paper, the Gatorman's safe combination. 3 numbers too repulsive to even display here. Eureka! You dial in the horrible combination and open the safe for 400 meat. I will leave that one alone. I've done so much other fighting. Why shed more blood? A dangling rusty thing. I saw them coming back. I guess I deal with it. The guards stop in their tracks and start sniffing around suspiciously. They're almost certain to notice you if you get any closer. Staying put isn't an option here. Which way do you want to go and how? Towards them. Fight! I still am missing 1 fence, aren't I? I'm a little bit surprised that I haven't found all of my fences. I just realized, alright, I'll focus fire. Oh, I used the wrong one. Well, I think I can still lower him to just enough. Perfect. That actually does work out, because he'll die from the upcoming stench damage. Perfect. Turns out the Gators should have been avoiding you. The Swamp Eel Hat Band. Somebody ate all the good parts of the Swamp Eel and just left the conveniently hat band-shaped skin. Add 3 hot armor. I am the terror that stalks the swamp. A dangling rusty meat hook is a tasteful accent for any style of decor. This must be the second shift. Luckily, they're all facing the other way, so we can easily ambush them. Well, it sucks to be those guys. These guys are easier to focus fire in this way, rather than specifically trying to use like the attack everyone, especially in groups of 3. Very, very easy. Onward, then. Gatormen are remarkably good at building fires in a couple inches of water. I imagine they would have quite a lot of practice at doing so, yes. A rack of horrible looking weapons. I thought it was a horrible rack. No. You grab the most appropriate one and leave the others to rust in peace. I thought it was friggin' fork. We got a froggin' fork. Gatorman sorcerers use these to gig frogs from his distance. If you don't know what it means to gig a frog, don't look it up. Deals mysticality plus 5 physical damage and heals you. That, I think, is quite notably better? That's, like, good. It is good. Potentially better than what I have. I'll think about it. How many upgrade-based things do I have, actually? I could add a wooden handle. It makes it into a melee weapon. I don't want that, actually. I could add a chunk of lead to make it heavier. The sharpening stone to make it bonus damage. Some more of these are equipable than I remembered them being, rather than being things you attach, like the chunk of lead. Yeah, I don't have that many things to attach, so I'm going to leave that alone, actually. This Gatorman seems less aggressive than is typical for these guys. Hi there. Greet, human, not eat. Greet. Thanks, I appreciate that. You seem a bit more relaxed than the rest of the Gator folk. Yes, everyone crazy. Don't know reason. Not for long. Leave swamp. Where will you go? Dunno. Wander? Oh, like a hobo. Hobo? What that? Basically, someone who travels from place to place because they're looking for work or just don't have anywhere specific to be? Yes! Hobo Gator! First, though, need weapon. Defend self. I'll ask about the hobo code. Hobo code? What that? Oh, right. You wouldn't know any of that. It's like little symbols that hobos use to leave messages for other hobos. Here, I can show you some of the basic ones. You teach him the symbols for safe camp, cops here, and the increasingly rare and exciting pie on windowsill. And we can offer him a weapon. You know what? You can have a very, suitable gator stick to go along with being a gator. No thanks. Weapon weak. Need power. I'll try to find you something stronger. Do you want, a hefty, sharpened, nasty spoon? Oh, the 5 base damage. Okay, so he literally just wants, massive damage output. I don't want to give him my 6 damage good item. The dire corn holder. I like that one a lot, but maybe? Yes, good. Weapon strong. Safe now. Thank you, man. You know what? No problem. You know, there's a bunch of hobos collecting in a camp outside of Ocean City. They're pretty accepting people. I don't think they'd mind you joining. Plus, it'd be handy to have some muscle around the place. Sound good. I go. He waves goodbye and stomps out the door. Bye. I hope you have fun out there. I want that, banjo or whatever it is on the wall there. We have a cat sleeping in the corner of the bed there. That's actually Banjo. And I feel like I accidentally got her attention a little bit by kind of shouting her name. Shouting's an exaggeration, but yeah, I think she was sound asleep and then perked up a little bit. Silly little critter. Maybe vaguely knows her name. I doubt it. A terrible rusty metal fridge dangles from the ceiling of this terrible rusty metal hovel. The dried swamp meat and swamp mushroom. Meat of indeterminate origin and low humidity. That's a defining quality of it. Forge for gator metals. Store all their terrible filth. Lots of things hanging off of lots of hooks. Yeah, all kinds there. Leaving all that alone, though. A dangling glob of revolting organic matter. And this is apparently where the Gatormen keep their billions upon billions of swarming bugs. Exterminate some of them. They're all going to be in clusters. Swarm of mega mosquitoes and standing water bugs. They drain 15. That's pretty strong. They're not to be messed with. Flea Orchestra is tuning its instruments. And the water bugs, they're going to drench people. Interesting creatures. It just makes me think of in Diablo 2 when you're wandering the desert and you have to fight I left that equipped. I didn't mean to. You have to fight clusters of bugs and it's scary enemies. You reduce the number of bugs in this terrible building by, let's say, 492. Is extra blood different? It is. Some of it is almost certainly yours. Heal 20 HP. We have a lot of like blood-based things, so I didn't realize at first that that wasn't one that we had already had. Just like I hadn't found at some point before. I'm almost a little bit surprised. Swamp flies, swamp. Yeah, I don't think there's anything new in this grouping of bugs that we haven't already seen before. We've already fought, you know, giant flies and things. Quite the assortment of enemies. 459 that time. We're not really putting a dent in the billions range, though. The swamp bees, they plan to repeatedly sting him for 10 poisoning. Stink bugs, they're going to use a bunch of stench damage. And, you know, everything else we've seen. So, again, I knew this right away, that it's just like one of the infinitely farmable collections of enemies to deal with. The world's smallest violin. If there's one smaller, it's too small for you to have seen it. It's a ranged weapon with Moxie. Pretty funny, but not one I'm actually going to make use of. So I guess I'm supposed to move on and go follow up with the next part of that quest. I almost forgot. I got distracted just smushing bugs. Swamp honey, a sticky glob of honey made from the pollen of fetid swamp flora, increases stench armor by quite a fair amount. So let's head to the amphibious truck. There's more to the storyline left than I realized, actually. Well, that's something you don't see. I'll tear us loose and we'll get a haunch again. That's an easy one. What clues will there be? This whole truck business sure feels like much ado about nothing. Ado is a weird word. It is. Black smoke billows from the cowl. That engine is cooked. Eat that engine. You can't eat something just because it's cooked. It's far too large. It's just not possible. It would kill you to try. Girding yourself against the overbearing heat, you wrench open the cowl and peer through the smoke, only to find that somebody has beaten you to it. The engine has already been eaten. Next chance I get, I'm eating an engine. Sure. The cab door hangs limply from its hinges. The truck has been abandoned for some time. There is nobody inside, unless they are very small and hiding. Are they? Small and hiding? No. Then I will search the seats. A newspaper left on the passenger seat is opened to the classified page. Circled are advertisements for Mr. Rat's Hotel for Working Women and the Docks. I will take the paper. You don't need it. It's yesterday's news. Search under the seats. The gas tank is located underneath the driver's seat, which has the advantage of lowering the truck's center of gravity. The gas tank is empty, which has the disadvantage of the truck not working. You also notice a tiny glint of metal, a key. A small LB&S key from Largemouth, Bass & Sons. Maybe it opens a lock back home. What are we saying? What are we calling back home? Back at the Bass & Sons, right? Oh, it'll give us access to, like, the mess hall or the room next to the mess hall. There's nothing amphibious about this truck. I'm guessing that would be like they went back there or something and now they're hiding back at that location. There's clearly more things to be found out here, but that feels to me like a very clear next step of this storyline, this quest here. I guess I'm stuck fighting some big old shadow stalks. But that was a joke. Truly, that was nothing, essentially. This is where things will pick back up. I'm going to remind myself about some side quests. The booze. I need the breathing apparatus. The radios, I just gotta find 2 more. That'll come up eventually. Try to find where Kathy and Tom have gone. Oh, the one padlock. We haven't figured out the one padlock. And the 3 dirty fences. That's actually, I do need to follow back up on that. I need to keep my eyes peeled here and see if there is a fence. I don't think there was. I don't think I saw any sort of fence out this way. Dang. The fortress, I also, don't think I did a very good job of keeping an eye out for fences. Again, I don't think it would make sense for one to be out there. I feel as though maybe I missed something. That there was a fence at one of those locations, unless it's gonna be at like the final one that I haven't made it to yet. That is still a distinct possibility. Oh, have we just like let loose the bugs? Now we're just gonna start finding massive bugs everywhere. Swarm of tick wasps. The swarm will burst, healing all of their allies. Ew. It's kind of nasty, honestly. I don't want to see that at all. I'm gonna put a stop to that. Icky. Well, this is getting spliced right smack dab in the middle of an episode. It's probably confusing to people when at the end of episodes I'm like, I don't know how long things are, I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like a perfectly normal size length episode. I was trying to like edit things on the fly, like I was doing things out of order and in separate chunks so I could kind of like modularly like build an episode. It's not how I normally do it, but I could tell certain things like, oh, that's going to take 12 minutes, that's going to take 20, that's going to take 15. How do I put these together to make an episode and not randomly have them be spiky in length? So I was trying to like fix that on the fly, and what ended up being the easiest solution was to steal from later episodes, and so my 30 minutes became like 38, 37, and 20 or something like that. And so now I'm just carrying on. So anyway, that's a little bit of behind the scenes stuff that I'm sure almost no one cares about. And basically it's never going to be relevant again because I'm basically going to stick to my usual means from here on out. So that's what all that was about. How are the fish today? Too large. Thanks for asking. How about Occam's Gator? Ah yes, my favorite fictional character. Go on. Your boss says you saw him. Okay, we've already talked to him all about that. I thought maybe he would have new things to say. He doesn't want to talk about largemouth Luke. With all love, Mr. Tracy something, I'll talk to them in the same order that I originally had, because that just feels right for whatever reason. There you are. What of Kathy? Is she home? Not yet. Ach! I found the company truck. Truck? Are you trying to say Tracy? Kathy Tracy? Yes? No, but finding the truck may help us find Kathy. It will? Where is she then? I don't know yet, man. You're getting like notably ahead of this investigation. I see. So the truck may help us find her, or it may not. Yeah, that's how possibilities work. Everything has the possibility for various outcomes. What are you asking here, man? It's looking more and more like Kathy ran away from home. Even if that's true, it doesn't matter. You find her and you bring her back here. That young woman has a responsibility to largemouth bass and sons. Well, I'm sure she'll realize her potential when she's good and ready. Right, yeah, we never had a way. I think the cat befriending will happen after we've resolved these storylines. This door is locked, making this room even more disappointing. Unlock it. The key fits snugly in the lock, so snugly you can't get it out, in fact, but it does its job nonetheless. The austere bedding testifies to the Tracy family's rigorous ascetism. One must purge body and mind of all comfort and distraction to achieve the hyper-focus of a bass fisherman. Secret candies? A bass fisherman should not be vulnerable to such temptations. Are these like fishermen's friends? Oh, they're taffies. Spearmint taffy. This spearmint-flavored saltwater taffy will help you keep your cool, which is what you need to be good with ranged weapons like spears, assuming you're throwing the spears. Look, this isn't such a thing as bullet mint. Increased damage with ranged weapons, licorice taffy. This piece of black licorice-flavored saltwater taffy is bound to either invigorate you or angrify you, depending on how you feel about black licorice. I hate it. I hate black licorice by itself. Like, just regular-ass black licorice or, like, black licorice-flavored jelly beans. They're all garbage. They should be wiped off the face of the earth. But then things like Sambuca and, like, star anise and things that are clearly licorice-flavored are totally fine. I have a It's a black licorice tea. I don't remember if that's actually what it's called, but that's like the primary flavor. It's probably like star anise. It's so good. Black licorice, regular though by itself, get out of here. Everyone hates you. You're trash. And anyone who says they like you is just trying to feel special. That's my theory, apparently. Times are tough at the Largemouth Bass and Sons, and the pillows are in short supply. The Spartan mattress holds no secrets. There must be like an old fable of a Spartan mattress or something, but it's also like the Spartan mattress is sparse. As I was reading the sentence, I thought it was going somewhere like that direction. Under the pillow, 16 teeth. New mouth starter kit. Just sell them, I guess. Tooth Fairy skipped this swamp for a while. Yeah, but what would someone pay for that? What would it actually be worth at all? A navy blue slicker is the sole resident of the coat rack. I just got distracted with the fish punnery of soul, but I don't think that's actually what they were going for here. Fierce rummaging yields a letter in the right pocket. The envelope appears unopened. Kathy's letter. A letter from Kathy Tracy addressed only to Dad. The post office will never be able to deliver that. Largemouth bass eyes peek through the slats in the lockers. Ew, you just have fish shoved up in your lockers? I should probably just deliver it to Dad, but I will read it first. The envelope isn't sealed. You slide it open with ease. Dad, all anyone cares about in this family is largemouth bass. Well, I'm sick of it. Ain't I a person? Yeah. Ain't I deserving of being cared about, too? I'm leaving, Dad, for a place where dreams are possible. You ain't never gonna find me because you don't know where that is. Love, Kathy. P.S. Hi to Mom. It's like a pleasant little end point there. You're not supposed to be in this room. It's better if Adam doesn't see you leave through this door. Better for you. We should go through the correct way. Totally fine. There you are. You need to see this. Adam Tracy pores over the letter, his brow sinking into deeper furrows with each line. Ain't never. Ain't I? My friend, those are the vulgar contractions of Occam's Gator. I didn't give Kathy a copy of Jane Eyre just to have her contract improperly. No. This letter is an obvious ruse, friend. Occam's clumsy attempt to throw us off the scent. They're drilling so hard on this, it is going to end up being Occam's Gator, isn't it? Like, that just is going to be the eventual payoff of all of this. You're delusional, face it, Tiger. Your daughter ran away. Yeah, face it, like Mary Jane. I'm yet to see any evidence of that. I found these teeth under a pillow. Yes, those are mine. You believe in the Tooth Fairy? No. I'll be on my way then. Apparently there's no further threads to be picked at. Don't waste Mr. Tracy's time. That was probably what she had said earlier. I don't think I have any, like, keys or anything in this one to go about searching through. I found the company truck. You're meant to be finding the company truck, Tom Chapman. The truck is the key to finding the sun. It is. Then where's Tom? You're supposed to be finding the company son. Did I read that correctly? I don't even know anymore. Let me get back to you on that. Take it from an old bass reboner. Try and do too much at once and your fish end up looking like a porcupine. It's looking more and more like Tom ran away. Even if that's true, it doesn't matter. You find him and you bring him back here. That young man has a responsibility to Largemouth Bass and Sons. Very much a mirror image of what we had seen earlier. Heard, seen, conversed about. Well then, I do not think I can do anything further with that. Like, the next step is going to be searching out from the abandoned truck. I thought we had, like, some means to go off of. You know, the distance between Largemouth Bass and Sons and the truck, and then some further distance from there. Maybe we need to just wander a little? As you round a clump of mangrove trees, or whatever kind of trees these are, you come face to face with a bearded Gatorman and his big filthy sack. I should clarify that it's a burlap sack and it doesn't have a face. Just the Gatorman does. Whoops, buy sack. 139 meat. Sale final. Sure. You open the bag and reveal your prize. It's like Crimbo, a sad, wet, dirty Crimbo. Weed Lord Fetish, Nasty, Pastry, and Hat Band. I think we've seen all of these. Maybe the pastry? You wouldn't feed this to a dog, though you would throw it at a dog if the dog was clearly a threat. You don't want to throw it to, like, play cute, fun fetch with the dog. That's not what we're doing. Pull the door off, search the seats, under the seats. I would have done all that, yeah. Oh, well then, I guess maybe I'm supposed to head to locations that are within range, which probably is the bus stop. In a clearing, a band of Cub Scouts sing fight songs around a fire. The scout leader waves you down. I don't know which way's which in this damn swamp, he whispers and shows you his compass. Can't find the damn North Star. Been leading these boys in circles for 3 days. If they figure me out, pal, it won't be marshmallows they're toasting tomorrow. Teach him how to read a compass. You remind him that the directions north and west were effectively switched at the turn of the century, and that he ought to be looking for the West Star. He claps you on the shoulder. Got it. I'd like to see him disrespect me now. He turns and walks face first into a beehive. There they are. Yeah, that's absolutely what happened then. Easy enough to solve. I was overcomplicating. Hold on. Are you Tom and Kathy? Tom Chapman and Kathy Tracy? Tom Tracy and Kathy Chapman. That's funny. I didn't even think about the initial swapping TCCT thing. The boy nods slightly. He can see you've put in the work to remember their surnames. And though you may be at cross purposes, respect must be paid. Who wants to know? I do. Isn't that obvious? I'm working for your bass fishing father. I've been looking literally everywhere for you. Really? Lots of times when folks say literally, they're not using it right. When people say it's literally raining on my wedding day, they're not talking about actual rain. It's weird that her hair isn't outlined. It's like the only hairdo that's on its own like that is just a solid color. It's surprising. I actually do mean it. They're not? No. What are they talking about then? Garbage. They mean trash is being pelted at them on their wedding day. But they say it's raining on my wedding day? It's literally raining on my wedding day, yeah. Okay, well, that's new to me. What do you say if there's garbage and it's not your wedding day? I don't know, I'm not an encyclopedia. Hope that answered all your questions. We're on the next bus out. Your folks back home think you were kidnapped or eaten. That's so utterly typical. They can't even conceive that someone might not want to live the same small little largemouth bass life that they do. It's not even a life. Not for us, it's not. The kind of life we want to lead, it's only possible in the city. What kind of life? Lots of things are possible in the swamp, like, fighting Gatorman? We're not going to do that. We're going to start a business making wigs for judges. Is that a job? I don't think judges wear wigs in this country. More power to you, the country one. It's going to be an international company. That's where the money is. If you know anything about business. Is that a job? Are you? Don't be rude. God, I'm sorry, but you gotta... that's like asking if cobbling is a job. Is cobbling a job? It's making shoes. Now, you're not gonna get me with that again. I need to take you back to your parents. Hell to that. You need to take us back like a bass needs bones. We're not going back, pal. Not ever. Largemouth Bass and Sons is a trap. All we can ever do there is repeat the same old toxic patterns that our fathers did, our grandfathers did. Debone the fish, rebone the fish, debone the fish. What's the point? It's a mindless life, and it's never going to change. No, pal, not for us. Better to die in poverty than live a largemouth bass deboner or reboner. Unfortunately, I was hired to bring you home. Listen, friend, we're not going back. There's nothing and nobody that can make us. Now, you kids listen to me. I could try moxieing them. I would have to exit the conversation. So instead, please... Okay, I knew it. I knew that Occam's Gator was gonna end up being real. He's got the two tails. No, Occam's Gator, you have no power here. Occam's Gator, that's a real guy. Occam's Gator is why he's the bane of our lives, our family's lives. He has haunted us, tortured us before I was even born. What does he want? Can he be reasoned with? I'll kick him between his tails. Back. Did you just say back? Did you just say bok? Miserable back. We will be miserable if we go back? The Gator sneers. To your surprise, the beast apparently has no intention of killing or eating the children, but means to return them home to Largemouth Bass and Sons. But why? Why would it care? You want them to be miserable? Oh yes, miserable back. I don't know what Occam's Gator wants except our whole family to be miserable. I don't know why else he torments us. What's your problem, man? Misery. You just want to cause misery? Bass misery. To them specifically? Why? Because they're always reboning fish? God. What? God? Misery God. You have a God that wants to cause misery to largemouth bass and sons? Amen. What's your God's name? What religion is this? Where do I sign up? Occam's Gator. You want to take them back? Be my guest. Come on now, you can't leave us to the mercy of this mutant. He was gonna try and take us back anyway, remember? Now you leave these kids alone, go ahead, take them. I assume I get paid either way. I'll tell him to leave them alone. Thank you, but there's no shaking Occam's Gator when he's got his mind set to a thing. Mind set? There's gotta be a way we can work this out. Violence! Apart from that. Violence, misery! Go ahead, take them. I assume we get paid. This is spiraling out quite further than I thought it would be. Now I'm getting all weird with episodes again. I think I'm gonna cut it off here because I'm probably gonna fight him. I'm undecided. I don't know what I'm gonna resolve this, and so it'll be a cliffhanger. Ooh, look at me, master producer, master of suspense, Graeme. Thank you all so much for watching. Pitch me on an episode title, and I hope to see you again.